We're going to spend a few days looking at solving linear systems, and today we're going to look at how you can do that with graphing. There's a warm-up. Farmer Joe had some chickens and cows. He forgot how many of each he had, but he knows there are 37 heads and 122 legs. How many of each does he have? So let you try that, and in class we'll go over it. But we're going to look at one main problem today and also tomorrow as well. So again, we're trying to solve linear systems by graphing. Here's the situation. Mrs. Bajan loves the new iPhone 6s because it comes in rose gold. But now phone carriers are not offering subsidized phone prices of $199 and $299 if you renew your 2-year contract like they used to. Instead, most phone companies have plans where you can lease the phone if you turn in your old phone and upgrade phones at any time. Here are the two deals that Mrs. Bajan is looking at. I can lease the phone for $25 a month and pay $56 a month for voice and data, but I have to turn in my own old phone. At T-Mobile, I can buy the phone from Apple for $749, and I can pay $30 a month for voice and data. So question number 1, which plan do you think is a better deal if Miss Bajan wants a new phone every year? So pick one. Write it down. Number 2, which plan do you think is a better deal if Miss Bajan wants a new phone every 2 years? Okay, so now what is the independent variable and what's the dependent variable and why? Okay, so the independent variable for what we're looking at is time. So we're looking at things over time, 1 year or 2 years. And the dependent variable would be the cost. The cost depends on what year you're looking at. So independent is time, and the dependent variable is cost. The price that I pay depends on how long I've had it, so the cost is dependent on time. So let's take a look at writing equations for each in slope-intercept form. What's the rate of change or slope? So if we go back, for Sprint, we can lease the phone for $25 a month and pay $56 a month for voice and data. So for this one, there's no y-intercept, so I'm not paying any initial fee for the phone. So we have Sprint would be y equals, and I just have a monthly cost, so we're going to go ahead and add up 25 plus 56. Just do it on a calculator page here. All right, so 25, oops, I want this page. Okay, so really I'm paying $81 a month to lease this phone and for voice and data. So here's our equation, 81x. T-Mobile, I'm going to buy the phone outright, so I will own the phone, and that y-intercept, the initial cost, is $749, and I think we're paying $30 a month for this plan. Yep, $30 a month for voice and data. So that's our slope. So the rate of change is the monthly payment, and that would also be our slope. In T-Mobile, the starting cost would be $749. All right, let's graph these. So this tells you how to graph it. Number 1, open a new graph page. So we're going to turn this on, new document, open a graph page, and we're going to type in the first equation. So that first equation was 81x. Notice this f1 of x equals, that's like y equals. So 81x, hit enter to graph it. All right, the next thing that we're going to look at is T-Mobile 749 plus 30x. So we're going to hit the tab button to pull down the second equation, f2 of x, and this one starts at 749. Plus, we have our slope of 30x, or monthly payment 30x. Hit enter. All right, we can't see that, so now it says right here in our notes, we can change the viewing window. So let's change the window, and we can actually have it fit it for us. So if we go to Menu, Window Zoom, Zoom Fit usually does a pretty good job, but here you can see we're trying to look for where they cross. So you can actually hold down on the OK, and you can find this point where they cross. Okay, so the first equation that I put in was blue. So this is starting at $0, you're paying $81 a month. The red line starts at $749. You can see the scale of the graph here. At $749 we're starting at, and we're paying $30 a month. So we're trying to find this point of intersection. All right, so to find the point of intersection, again, we can use our calculator. Under the Menu button, we can go to Menu, Analyze the graph, and calculate the intersection. We should go, lower bound means to the left of our point of intersection, and upper bound means to the right. So we can pull this, and here's what it looks like, 14.7 and 1.19 E3. So let's write down that and what it means. So point of intersection is 14.7 and 1.7 E3. So what that means, 14.7, this is scientific notation. It means move the decimal place over 3 times. So 1.713. So we have these two numbers, 14.7 and 1700 for this point of intersection. Let's talk about what that means. So I'll rewrite it up here. 14.7, and it was 1700. So what does this mean in the context of the problem? Well, what it means is, here's phone plan A and phone plan B. It means it's where the phone plans cost the same. So when or where. When and where the phone plans are the same. And if you remember, our independent variable is x, so this is time in months. So at 14.7 months. And then if you remember, the dependent variable was cost, so this is cost. At 14.7 months, we've paid a total of $1,700 in each plan. When would you choose the Sprint plan and why? So remember, the Sprint plan, you're leasing it. And this would be if you wanted a new phone every year, because 14 months is past a year. So I would choose the Sprint plan if I wanted a new phone each year. When we chose to choose the T-Mobile plan, well, this one ends up being less expensive if we keep that phone. So if we decide to keep our phone for longer than a year, this would be better. So again, you keep your phone longer than a year, T-Mobile might be the better plan. Now, the Sprint plan, you're leasing your phone, so really you could argue that the T-Mobile plan is better either way because you own the phone in the T-Mobile plan. You pay $749, but you could potentially sell your phone and recoup some of the cost. So you could sell your phone and buy a new phone. So it ends up really, T-Mobile might be cheaper if you could sell your phone for a certain amount. But according to just the equations, at 14.7 months, the Sprint plan becomes more expensive and the T-Mobile plan becomes cheaper. So that's how you can use your graphing calculator to find a point of intersection. Tomorrow we're going to look at a different method, and then the day after that we'll look at yet another method to solve a system.